Hi, I'm Raphael Werner from Saarlandes University, and I'd like to give you a quick tour of what we did. So we had two main motivations. One, we wanted to learn more about the acoustics of speech breathing, which could, for example, be beneficial for word aligners. And two, we wanted to see how those acoustic characteristics would then relate to kinematic measurements, which we got via those belts that you can see down here, which measure thorax and abdomen displacement. Because if there is a clear relation between the kinematics and the acoustics, then we might be able to infer things about the breathing physiology just from looking at the audio signal in the future. And of course, both of these parts would also give us more insight on the speech production in general, which inhalations are a massive part of. So what we did is we hand annotated different breath events depending on where they appeared. For example, this one up here would be a within speech inhalation because there's speech here and there's speech here and it's sandwiched in between, as well as some speech segments. And what we find for the first part, where we compared the speech sounds to the inhalations, is that inhalations within speech, which are our main focus because they are the most frequent and thus the most relevant for speech breathing, have a higher intensity than those initiating speech. They have a similar center of gravity as speech-initiating inhalations and aspirations, and they have a slightly higher F2 than schwa on average, but most importantly, a higher F1 than schwa. So the green stuff up here is schwa, and the orange things down here are within-speech inhalations. For the second part, including the kinematic data, which were collected via those belts, we use inhalation slope as a measure of inhalation speed. And what we find here is that from left to right, a faster inhalation is correlated with a higher intensity, a higher center of gravity, and a higher F1. So here's the findings wrapped up. They all have implications for the things that I mentioned in the beginning. If you would like to hear some more about this or learn about the data that we use or why we chose those speech segments or some limitations or where we plan to go from here with this, or if you just want to chat about it, then please stop by our poster. Thank you very much for your attention and see you at InterSpeech.